welcome to my channel. On this channel I'm going to be doing everything skincare, okay? So please guys, if you are just seeing my face for the first time, please subscribe, turn on the notification bell so that you can be notified each time there's an upload coming from me, okay? This is a new channel. I need your support, I need your like. Please subscribe to this channel, share, comment, okay, and like this video. Yeah, so today we're going to be talking about whitening powders, how best to use them, when to incorporate them, and how to combine them, okay? So if you've been having difficulties or you do not have a proper understanding on how to work with these powders, I am here to give you the juice. So stay tuned, guys. So there's something I want to say generally. When making use of these whitening powders, it's always advised to use them at 2% when you are combining them. But if you are using a single powder for a formulation, okay, I'll just advise you increase it up to about 4 to 5%. Don't go above 5%, okay? That's if you are using only one powder as in you're working with only one powder, okay? So one thing you should know, the fact that they are termed whitening powder does not really mean that you should not over expect them. You have to give them time to work. Don't over expect them to, be very fast. No, it doesn't work like that. You have to be patient with these powders. Yeah, now there are only two powders I know of, yeah, for now, that you can use up to, whitening powders you can use up to on my list here, that you can use up to about 10%. Okay, on my list here you can use them up to 10%, which is N-acetylglucosamine and niacinamide. You can use them up to 10%. And these two powders, when you're working with N-acetylglucosamine, is a powder that is usually used for facial creams. Very lovely. Is a precursor of hyaluronic acid, okay? And for it to work properly well, you should incorporate it with niacinamide. So if you see a formulation where there is N-acetylglucosamine and there is no niacinamide, you should use your own initiative to know, okay, let me include niacinamide in this formulation, because niacinamide helps N-acetylglucosamine to work perfectly fine. So guys, let's dive straight into this video. The first on my list is alpha-arbutin powder. Alpha-arbutin powder is a very, very lovely powder. In fact, you can replace alpha-arbutin with hydroquinone, okay? It works almost the same. So it is let's just call it a safer version of hydroquinone. It's a very, very lovely powder, and it is dissolved in water. Yes, and it has a pH of about 3.5 to 6.5. When working with powders, you should always consider pH, because the pH of our skin is slightly acidic, 4.5 to about 6, 5.5, 6 pH. That's pH of our skin. So when we formulate lotions and creams and skincare products, we tend to make sure our products are at the same level with the pH of our skin, so that we do not disrupt the pH of our skin. And then when you are working with powders, you should know that some of these powders, when they are not incorporated in the right pH, they tend not to work well. That is why you formulate a lotion or a cream or a soap with a very, very lovely powder, and you start realizing that it's not working, and you'll be like, are you added to so and so powder, they said it's working, why is it not working? Okay, it's because you probably did not incorporate it in the right pH. Now let's take alpha-arbutin for example. It has a pH of 3.5 to 6.5, yeah. It's dissolved in water. Now you want to incorporate your alpha-arbutin powder into a black soap. How? We know that black soap normally has a very, very high pH, 10, 11, very high. And even most times when we formulate our black soap, we tend to bring down the pH of that black soap so that it should come down to about pH 8 or 9, okay? So you should know that you have no business adding alpha-arbutin powder in your black soap, else you are just, and it's very costly, you are just wasting it. So try as much as you can to know the best pH to work with. And some of these powders, when they are in a pH that is not compatible with theirs, they tend to degrade or oxidize. Okay, take niacinamide for example. Niacinamide works very well at pH 6. pH 6 is the optimum pH for niacinamide. So if you go and incorporate niacinamide in a very acidic stuff, or a very alkaline substance formulation, it's going to degrade to niacin, and niacin tends to people tend to be reactive to niacin. Okay, it's no longer functioning as niacinamide in that your formulation. It has been degraded. So guys, we should know what we are doing. So don't go about adding niacinamide in your black soap. The pH do not tally at all. Okay, so guys, so for the next on my list is niacinamide. Like I told you, it has a pH of 6, optimum pH 6. So if you are formulating a lotion, try to make sure that you balance your pH to pH 6 if you know you are going to make use of niacinamide. And niacinamide can be dissolved in water. Niacinamide is one powder that you can use up to 10%. Yes, it is safe to use it up to 10%. I'm not saying you must use it up to 10%. You can do 5, you can do 2, or depending on what you want, but don't go above 5% for your niacinamide. Now, there is this powder that works properly well with niacinamide. Like I said, it's N-acetylglucosamine. It can also be used up to 10%, okay? And it's mostly used in facial creams. It's a very, very lovely powder. It's a precursor of hyaluronic acid, which is usually found in our body, but it helps the body to produce more of hyaluronic acid in the body. Okay, it's a very, very lovely powder, and it is also dissolved in water. Now, the next on my list is glutathione powder. Glutathione powder is a whitening powder, and it's an antioxidant. It is very good for the body as a whole. So most of the time, people tend to use glutathione to whiten their skin, but it has other benefits aside whitening of the skin. Okay, it is very, very good for the health. So glutathione powder is also dissolved in water, and just like alpha butane, it has a pH of about 3.5 to 6.6. A very, very lovely powder. Now let's go to kojic acid. When working with kojic acid, I said when working with other powders, it's best to use them at 2%, but if that's when you're combining them, you can work with them at 2% each. Or when you're working with only one powder in the formulation, you can increase it up to like 5%, yeah. But for kojic acid, try not to go above 3%. Reason being that some people tend to react to kojic acid. Okay, some people do not roll well with kojic acid, so when the percentage is very high, it tends to make their skin red. So try as much as you can not to go above 3% when making use of your kojic acid. And kojic acid is dissolved in water, warm water. Okay, so if you want to dissolve your kojic acid, ensure that the pH of that water is warm, but it should not be above 40 degrees Celsius, because kojic acid is very unstable. So a high temperature can oxidize it. A very unbalanced pH can oxidize kojic acid. So when working with kojic acid, try to ensure that the pH of what you are formulating is not above 7, because it's going to be highly unstable and it will oxidize. Okay, and try to dissolve your kojic acid with warm water, because if you dissolve it with just ordinary cold water or ordinary water, it's not going to dissolve. Try as much as you can to dissolve it with warm water. And I want to say something for those powders that are dissolved in water. If you have already formulated your base cream, try to ensure that the water you are using to dissolve those powders is rose water, because if you use ordinary water, there is a tendency that germs will grow in your lotion. But if you are formulating your lotion from scratch, ensure to use distilled water, okay, to dissolve these powders. Now, there is a very stable form of kojic acid, which is kojic D. Very stable. It has a pH range of 4 to about pH 9. Okay, so you can use it both in the acidic and in the alkaline pH. It is very lovely for your black soap. Yeah, it's very lovely, and it is dissolved in oil, it is dissolved in glycerin, it is dissolved in propylene glycol. A very, very lovely powder, easy to work with. Okay, it is not really sensitive to heat and pH like kojic acid. And one more thing, when you formulate a lotion with your kojic acid, try as much as you can to include lots of antioxidants, so that it will reduce the rate at which that kojic acid will be oxidized. And the containers should be dark, because kojic acid is sensitive to light. So the containers which you are putting your lotions in should be dark container. I'm talking about kojic acid, yeah. So guys, the next on my list is Seppi white powder. Seppi white powder is also dissolved in oil, and it has a broad pH. Okay, for pH below 5 it works, for pH above 6.3 it works. So you can also use your Seppi white powder in your black soap, and it is also dissolved in oil. Okay, Now I've talked about most of these powders. Let me just see. I think I still have some here. Okay, Giga White powder is here. Giga White can be dissolved in oil as well, and it has a pH of about 3 to 6. Okay, so you should know how to use this powder. Sim White powder is another lovely powder here. It has a pH of 2 to about 7.4, and it is dissolved in oil. So these powders that I listed here are very, very lovely. Now if you want to combine your powders, okay, let me tell you how to combine them. Kojic acid, alpha butane, and glutathione powder works very lovely in your formulation. N-acetylglucosamine and niacinamide, lovely in your formulation. Kojic dip and niacinamide, they can still go well, they work well. Okay, so you can really combine your powders to get a very, very lovely result. Okay guys, I hope you understand what I said. Now if you are going to be making serums with any of these powders, for the ones that are dissolved in oils, try to make your serum oil based or gel based. While for the ones that can be dissolved in water, try to make your serum water based, except you have an emulsifier which combine the oil phase and the water phase together. That's when you can work with other of these powders, and you should know when to dissolve them. Okay, you should know how the phase of your formulations that you have to dissolve these powders. I hope you learned something new today, and I hope this video was very, very educative. Okay, I know that as time goes on, I'm going to do a demonstration on how to dissolve these powders and the best solutions to dissolve them, because some of these powders dissolve in more than one solution. I don't just want this video to be too long, so I think I am going to show a demonstration on how to dissolve these powders. So guys, please don't forget to like, share, comment, and put on your notification bell so as to be notified each time there's an upload coming from me, because soon I'm going to be dropping tutorials. Okay, you don't want to miss out. Thank you guys, see you in my next skincare video. Bye.